Hey, it's HighZealot here and welcome to E-6 of Second Operation SN. E-6 being counterattack into the FS region. You can see this is another carrier task force, and you also see some returning faces from E3 because E6 is the green tag once again. So not only can you use anyone you used in E3, you can also lock people into E3. Even though you're probably not going to return to E3, so it's more like the green tag is more like who giving you extra options that you usually wouldn't be able to have, and not really locking extras out of future maps, because E7 is anything except for E5. So you can see here, carrier task force, they will always go to C, except for some situations. With a specific composition, you will get sent to A with carrier task force. Specifically near a specific pairing, like you need your three pairings, Yudachi and Ayanami, or Fubuki and Furutaka, or Hie and Kirishima. Those are three possibilities to send the carrier task force to Node A. But that's not what I would recommend. Not that I've tried it, but Node C is the third route I take. You see more of them preferred route as we go further into this first sortie. Well, this first sortie, let's just say, we do not exactly get far go. There is one thing I would note now is that after this sortie, I did my due diligence, did a bit of research, and found evidence that suggests that the flagship of the second escort fleet is unsinkable. I did this after the sortie, and so I ended up, just retreating just to be safe. But all evidence points to it being unsinkable, and you should just keep going onwards. Which makes sense, because before the flagship was forced to retreat, if it's been knocked into red, you could still continue and should never get sunk. So it makes sense. So Node A. The southern route's gonna take you, down there. I believe there's night battles down there. It's Node D is a night battle. So yeah, Node B is not a night battle. That's something to note. A surface task force does get sent to Node A, and the wiki does not actually recommends you do not use the surface task force. Other things to note is that if you have a submarine or a torpedo cruiser, you usually will not reach the boss. I believe using the specific combinations that gets your carrier task force sent to Node A, it is possible to bring a torpedo cruiser, though there's really no point, because I believe it said that you will pretty much have to go for the night battle route, which is not recommended, and you're pretty much better off just going with your standard carrier task force. In fact, the wiki setup that I'm also following, it's pretty damn good in my opinion. As it worked, and then it worked just fine for me. E6, lots of people had said it was. Lots of people complained about difficulty. Lots of people had frustrations with E6, but I did not have any. I personally found E6 pretty, I won't say easy. It was resource intensive, but it was not frustrating like E4. I want to bring the note specifically if by using the fleet command facility, being able to escort any major damage girls back makes this a lot more easier. Submarines on this node can be a bit annoying because the two up there, they can sometimes hit and just knock somebody out, or force you to escort someone back. Most likely you'll probably have to send your two destroyers back, because or worst case one gets knocked to red, one gets knocked to medium, and then you can't do anything and you gotta go back for yourself. And from the submarine node afterwards, you got Node G. Node G is active branching. You can either go to H or to F, north or south. The primary difference between the southern route and the northern route is up north you have an aerial battle, but while down south you have a normal battle at F. There's aerial battles. I usually tend to prefer, because you can see from my setup to start, I tend to overstock on fighters, because I believe I put enough to gain air supremacy, not just superiority like AS plus, not just AS. so you can see that. I did at one point equip Soryu with the upgraded the new torpedo bomber that we get. That's 15 torpedo. For the most of it, except the end, because I decided to equip it off and just give it a normal freighter bomber because it's swollen. Now the final formation for the boss gained some 2 light cruisers, which they got pretty good anti-air, and I'd rather not lose the skill level of those torpedo bombers. I mean, I lost count of how many freighter bombers have lost any skill level and just been sent back down nothing. So aerial node is your standard aerial node. I believe I don't really actually know what you try, but you can easily find out. I do know. I believe you need like 700, over 700 for air supremacy. And it's I have actually you shot down all their bombers a few times on the second battle. The other route down south is an ordinary battle with I believe it's you got a carrier, a war class, and a battleship and some red destroyers. That doesn't really seem too threatening by itself, but it's certainly not as easy as aerial battle. And then afterwards you have the option of going. So this is the southern road, by the way, not the northern road. I'm talking from F to J. J's have active branches. You can either go to K or M. Both K or M, you're guaranteed to have the blue-eyed wall. But here, on this node that was on the screen right now, node L, it's a random chance. You are not guaranteed. You can get this formation, enemy formation, or you can have this thing, except with a blue-eyed wall as the flagship. That makes it so it's not guaranteed to get blue-eyed wall, and that blue-eyed wall can be a bit devastating if you get unlucky. And node L just feels like it's the superior choice because it's not guaranteed. And also thing to know is that node K and M also contains one thing to know that may actually favor it. Is that they don't contain a battleship. Node K contains either 3 standard carriers, 3 world class, and a 2 light cruiser, and then just 2 red destroyers, or blue-eyed wall, another wall, and just 2 normal light carriers, and then 2 red destroyers. While node M is either going to contain 4 carriers in total, 2 light carriers, 2 walls, including the blue eye, or the same as node K's first, except node M will contain the more elite better walls for the takoyakis, while K may only contain 1 takoyaki elite wall. The wiki recommends you go to node K, which I can kind of see why, because the takoyaki planes, obviously you don't want less of them and they hurt. And you don't want to go there quite simply. So from this here on own, it's pretty much go to the boss, line of sight check, then I believe it's just a line of sight check, and most likely submarine inflate. Then like pretty much everything is most often right before the boss. If you have a submarine get sent to a dead end, it doesn't really matter because I've already told you submarine leads to a dead end. You shouldn't be bringing it in the first place. The fact that people most likely I doubt they data mined it. They probably tested it the old way. It's kind of surprising that I mean, you can probably suspect, but they were gonna test it anyway. I guess coverage testing makes sense. It's the logical thing to do. If you're testing something, coverage testing something, black box style testing, because you don't actually know what's the things actually going on. Rambling on and do stuff. One thing to notice, this boss, unlike pretty much other bosses, does not have the usual open and force line, which is I find personally strange or interesting to know. Okay, here we got 3 red destroyers and a 2 light cruiser. Remember those light cruisers are pretty anti-air. They got 2 dual-purpose guns, kind of like 10cm guns for destroyers, and I believe it's rumored that they may be able to do an anti-air cut-in, because well, you won't be able to see when the enemy does an anti-air cut-in. One thing to note is that effectively everybody except Soryu has had their bombers all shot down, which is why Sawyer got the torpedo bomber. Well, probably most likely because of how I put it, because to guarantee their supremacy for some of the nodes, made it so Sawyer pretty much had a free spot to put everything on. For chipping, I pretty much had my heavy cruisers. Everything was on double attack, no cut-ins, which you will be seeing soon. And I also, the only night battle equipment was the night scout plane, because there's really no reason not to bring it, and flares, which you know, I mean, you could put a radar or something else on your destroyer instead. Akisuki is you know, good option here for the anti-air cut-in, or even I believe anyone, Maya might also be a good option if you don't have her, or Fubuki, pretty much anybody with a good anti-air cut-in, because it is possible to actually shoot down all of the aircraft carrier teammates bombers in an anti-air cut-in. I believe I actually did it once without an anti-air cut-in, and then my suspicions came true, and even though all her bombers were shot down, she can still attack a night battle. I don't know how. Abyssal technology. You just do it somehow. Probably regrowing bombers on the spot. If only we could do something like that. Just, you know, regrow bombers on the spot during the night battle. So, you know, it's pretty standard stuff. The boss, you know, you won't be able to kill it every time because of tracing the battleship. He may cock blocking you like an asshole, like always. Ideal situation is, you know, everybody except those two are sunk in the, you know, before night battle, and then your heavy cruisers can hopefully finish off the boss with some good double attacks, which is possible right there. You can also put cut-ins if you want to, you know, just kill her, but double attacks are more reliable, like always. You have to kill her about 8 kills required, according to the English wiki. She's technically, in total, her HP is slightly less than 8 kills, but you still need at least 8 kills, because if it's 7.9, you can't kill her. You can't do 7.9 total kills if you kill her every time. It said her HP is 2,720, which is obviously not 350 times 8, so you can basically just do the math, you know it. And just as a rat battle had in one point, and it's showing off the potential dangers or threats, or just how powerful potentially the blue-eye woe can be if you get her. And that's why I don't, you know, bringing her along. Go the other route. There we also shows that torpedo bomber killing that battleship in a single blow. Great torpedo bomber. Great reward for this event. One of the few rewards worth, well, that's great in this event. Now it's not like it's a hard exclusive, so hard is pretty much just doing it for the pride and the hard medal. Really just for the pride, because you can just only do E7 for the on hard and do everything else on easy and medium. And relief E6 we have to be medium, I don't really know. I believe it's either E6 you have to do on medium or hard, one of the two. Probably medium, so you can go up in level. So it's about to happen soon. You know, blue-eyed woe. After we kill the things that would attack first, and then Taiho attempts to disable and utterly fails. And Yamato's full health, and now she's not. But you know, Fleet Commander said the Yudachi is at orange, so Akisuki has to escort her back. And then we went to the boss. Did really minor damage, but meh. It all adds up in the end. So with the Fleet Command Facility, it's not really frustrating map, but it is really resource intensive, especially if you're using hotels. Some people may recommend not using hotels because they can still get one-shotted by blue-eyed woe. So other battleships may just be more cost-effective, but meh. So get into the boss and killing the boss required this 2 attempts in total. This is the second attempt. can see here, I believe it was on the previous node. It was not a blue-eyed woe, by the way. It was just a normal woes. Bismarck got knocked down, and then Yudachi had to escort her out. Usually, and also put on Yudachi, and everybody except, I mean, Yukikaze. Everybody except Yudachi is on the cut-ins. Well, except for also you can see support fleet. Sundai is double attack, but everybody else should be cut in. And as I told you before, Sawyer's gone back to fighter bombers because I do not really want to have all my torpedo bombers get shot down. Not good for my ferry pilots. So, you know, I'm getting my fighter bombers shot down a lot. But you know, somebody's got to do the job. So you know, they're still always the unsung hero, always the ones who die the most, and very little recognition they gain, especially the fighters. Though you know, makes sense. I mean, fighters don't get shot down that much. Bombers die in droves. You know, that's war for you. But yeah, same thing here. Same thing as always. Try to kill everybody except the last two before night battle, and then hope things go out well in night battle. You know, pray. Music here is music. Red music has always been pretty damn good and always very enjoyable. So I may just shut down here and see it. Let you guys listen into night battle, and then I'll start talking again once night battle starts. Unfortunately, I fail. I couldn't already talk over the best parts, but you can find it online somewhere probably. So, you know, night battle. Pretty much, you know, same thing as always. Ideally, you know, just hope, pretty much. You know, that kind of situation is what you hope for. Flagship gets hit after she attacks, and that's not what you hope for, because orange damage, less damage. And here we're gonna see Yurikaze. You are devastating blow, 308. Just short 9 damage though. And you can also see heavy cruisers with the skilled lookouts. Is actually the skilled lookouts have been doing a fantastic job actually. They just you know, this event's actually the first time I've ever used them, and they seem to be working. I mean, Chokai, it's not like she has really that great luck, so Chokai, you know, seems to be getting every cut in because of that skilled lookout. So that's it for the boss. The boss is not. There's no really significant drops. Event rewards are also no actual girls as the event reward. But what you do get is a medal. Everybody gets a medal. Easy. You do not want to do. You want to do medium or hard, because only medium hard rewards with a prototype flight deck catapult. And that is most likely going to be required for Shokaku and Sukaku's Kainis. And you only get one, regardless of the difficulty. So if you don't want to do hard, you may as well do medium, because okay, difference, let's go through everything in general. You can see right there, that's the point I'm talking about. Easy, you get 2 maritime resupply and 5 screws. Medium, you get the catapult, 2 maritime resupplies and 6 screws. Hard, 10 screws, 3 maritime resupplies, and a reinforcement expansion, and only 1 catapult as well. So once again, you're only going to remodel 1 probably. You can see you're going through equipment, and you see your models, hotels with the 51 stem mechanic, because there is no actual fit gun as far as I know for the hotels, and 46 and 51s are neutral. So you just equip them with the best. You can see it's good lookout, and you can see here for the support fleet, I just gave them what I had. And it worked. They ended up sinking the Su class, which is very nice. You can see here, very resource intensive. So that's like pretty much double E3, and combined fleet in general hotels is very resource intensive. So, and hotels especially, repairing them costs a lot of steel. And that's effectively E6. Next time is E7. The hell that is Operation FS. I haven't started it yet, and I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll see you guys then, and good night.